Hi everyone, this is Rahul. Let us begin with the analysis for this week. Now, just a quick update for everybody. I will be uploading the analysis video on Saturdays from now on, not on Fridays, because Indian market closes at 3:30. That's fine, but the other markets are still running. And since you're trading in the stock market, now all the markets are interlinked, right? What's happening in S&P 500 is also happening with Nifty, and not just S&P 500, but all the stock markets of the major economies and all of that, right? So everything is interconnected. So it is important to see how the closing happens on the other stock markets as well, which will happen at about 2:30 on a Friday night, right? So that's why Saturdays is when we'll be having the weekly analysis video. And before getting into the analysis of Nifty and Bank Nifty, I will just like to show you what happened with the other indexes, right? So if you see this one, let's start with actually the Australian one. This is Australia 200. You can see this was the fall, which is common in all the markets. And yesterday's candle. So we're having the rejection at this good resistance, right? There was a indecision. Then price was still playing there. Here we had a rejection on the downside. Now rejection of the resistance. All right. Let's move on to Nikkei. What you see here is a very strong rejection candle again at the, we can say clearly that this is a good support, right? In fact, you can connect it from here. So it's a good resistance, not a support. So we have a rejection exactly at this resistance this week. This was yesterday's closing. This is the EU stocks 50, just like the Nifty 50. We have the European Union 50 stocks. You can see the price has a very strong rejection again, right? And at a good resistance. Now let us take a look at the Wall Street 30. Same thing, strong rejection at a good resistance, previous resistance, right? So remember all this is a major fall. This is a change of trend, and this is the correction. What is all this indicating is that the correction is done, which means we should be resuming the trend, which is right now a downward trend. Okay, we're just talking technically. I do not follow much fundamentals, though I do read, but I do my analysis only on the basis of what's shown on the charts, because I've noticed the news eventually comes in favor of what I see on the chart. Now here you see back-to-back rejections. Last week showing the market moving up. This week it went up, touched the high, and then reversed or got rejected from the resistance again. This is S&P 500. Then we have the US small cap 2000. Which again has a good rejection. You can see the kind of rejection we have here. Then we have the Chinese index. It has a rejection and it closed almost at the low. It even went behind the low, below the low of the previous week, right? Then this is our Swiss market index. You can see price was moving up, and now we have strong rejection. I'm not getting the names of candlesticks because that's not really important. So we're just calling it a rejection, but most of you know what this candlestick is. Now we also have the FTSE, which again has a rejection, right? So this is the background of all the indexes across the world. Now let us take a look at Nifty. So what we see on Nifty is a strong bullish candle. Now, obviously, this is at the time of at 3:30, right? What we saw was by 2:30 in the night. So this has not been updated because market obviously stopped. So I'm also expecting a reversal in Nifty because you can see that we had this upward trend going. It broke down. Now this is a correction, and this correction is ideally done. We have reached the resistance. Right, so there should be a gap down opening on Monday. If not a gap down, I mean that you can't really predict, but higher chance of a gap down. But even if it doesn't, the idea is trend wise, I'm strongly bearish on this. So I'd be on the bearish side. I'd be looking for only shorting opportunities every time I get a pullback, right? That is what, because I'm expecting the market to come back and test the previous low. It may break it, may not break it. I'm not sure about that, but at least a retest of the previous low is what I'm expecting in the next couple of weeks, you know. So that's what the plan is, looking at the chart technically. Now let's also take a look at Bank Nifty. Right, so Bank Nifty has a bullish candle, but again, you can see the retracement also is not much in this case. So if you check the Fibonacci retracement tool, it just shows that the market is very, very weak because the retracement has just touched or almost touching 38.2. It has not even crossed 38.2. So I'm expecting further downside momentum to continue. Basically, the downtrend to start, and this has a higher chance of making testing this low, like going for a new low. Anyways, for this particular week, we're not looking at these targets. It'll take time to get there. As of now, direction-wise, bearish is what the plan is, both on Nifty and Bank Nifty. I hope that clears a lot of things. And I will see you guys again next weekend on Saturday. Thank you. See you guys.